Hello, hello, hello. My name is Joanne. I am the marketing manager here with Wake Up Legendary, and I am super pumped to join you today. Dave is running Decade in a Day with everyone over there today. So I am hopping in and hosting today. I will explain my background a little bit. My mom had a little medical emergency earlier this week, so I did need to fly to Los Angeles. So I'm at their house, but that's the beauty of this business is I can jump on a plane. And whether it's to travel or see family or to be supportive in an emergency situation, here I am. So that's why I have kind of, Mr. Snowman behind me and different family photos. That kind of explains the unique setting that I'm in today. But regardless of that, I am super, super pumped for today's guest. And we have a bonus guest with her. So not only do we have an amazing marketer to bring you, we also have her partner who's here today to share his angle with all of you. So let me bring them on, Steffi and Tom, and I'll let them share with you their story. So welcome to the show, guys.
Hello. Good morning. I hope your mom's feeling okay, Joanne.
Yeah, she's still in the hospital. She's going to be there a little bit longer and then move to rehab and all of that. So, but otherwise good. And I get to be here and support my dad and all that good stuff too. So thank you. I appreciate it. But guys, Steffi, when did you start? When did you join Legendary?
So I joined Legendary around, I think I started a 15-day challenge around February.
Yeah.
And then I started getting into the business a month later. So it's been like close to 9 months now. Yeah.
And I mean, if I remember correctly, and you can correct me because I want to make sure I share your story authentically. When you joined, you were attending the webinars, the Thursday trainings. You made sure you were learning every little piece as you were applying.
Oh, yeah.
It's just been amazing to watch your business grow. It's been awesome.
Yeah, I'm milking out for sure. I mean, I pay for it. I definitely, and throughout my whole life, I'm all about like learning, education, and I'm like, because I feel like I learn slow, and I'm not like the smartest person in the world, but I know I will put in the work. I work hard, but I'm not like the smart way. But opposite to Tom, I always feel like I've seen him like playing video games like during work times, but then he get his stuff done like at the last minute.
She's definitely cutting herself short. That's not
definitely, because I'm not what? We don't bully ourselves here on the show, Steffi. Okay. Yeah.
I think her being hard gives her the motivation to push her to be so successful.
Yeah, I feel like because I also know my learning styles. Like sometimes I just have to like review, preview, and I just have to take a lot of notes. Yeah, that's all about it.
Awesome. But you know that about yourself. You know that's how you take it in. That's how you know that's how you're going to be able to apply it better.
Mm-hmm.
Which is awesome. So we're going to go back. We're in the challenge. And we share with Tom that this is what you're doing. How did that conversation go? How did that time of your life go between the two of you as you were starting this?
Yes. So it didn't went that well, and I knew it. It was last year during my birthday times, and I've been kind of doing this on my own, and I didn't tell anyone because I didn't know where this was going. I just feel like I'm gonna give this a try. It's just something inside it. I believe it so much. I feel like even if I share with people, they're not looking it through my eyes. So I feel like it's hard for me to explain, and they won't understand it. So I didn't tell Tom until a lot later on, and it wasn't the answer, the response that I was hoping to hear, and I knew that was coming. I got really upset. But right now he's like full on supporting it. Yeah.
Okay. So I know people definitely keep this from their partner at times, but do you think it made it worse though? Knowing that you were doing it without telling him in the beginning? How do you feel about it, Tom?
I don't think it wasn't long. I think it was maybe, a few weeks, maybe a couple weeks. It wasn't like, months on end, and
okay.
We're fully in it. So I think she was still at the stages where she was going through some of the blueprints and learning and dedicating herself. Steffi is very much a kind of person where, as soon as she wakes up, she can't stay still with, she can't sit down. She needs to be doing something, has to be active, and which is great because I'm kind of, all right, let's warm up the gears a little bit and, kind of methodically go about the day. And then when I can take some leisurely time, I'll take advantage of it. But when I need to buckle down, let's turn the engines on. So her engines are always on.
But I can't even sit still like watching a movies. I'm like,
that's right.
I have to wash dishes. I have to put the laundry into the dryer so it will be perfect when we get done watching movies and stuff. So,
or she'll fall asleep.
Yeah,
of course.
It's either full go or knockout.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, when she told me about Legendary Marketer or just her having to pay the blueprint and for the course and this and that, I was absolutely skeptical. It's not really a traditional way of from at least my background and working of let's say making a career. I think there was something, when I was going in college, I was approached by a lot of, like MLM and pyramid type, events, and people bringing me on board, and they always ask for money up front. And, my mom always said, well, don't, be careful of that, because if somebody's going to ask you to pay money to make money, it's likely, not the right thing to do. And so that's kind of where my brain went to.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And the more I probed and asked about it, I did some research and looked on it. I realized, these are classes. There's classes for educating yourself and to try and gain some insight and some knowledge to be able to better the business that you're building with this opportunity.
Right.
I was like, okay, I trust Steffi's judgment with, her decision to make, something of herself. So yeah, the conversation initially, I was like, this just smells bad.
Right.
I think initially your interpretations aren't always what's true. And that was, talk about a time where I was proven wrong. This was it. And, in a matter of, I would say, weeks to a month or so, I was like, dang, okay, this is clearly different than my initial thoughts. And then now I'm insanely impressed, and it's been pretty neat to see the journey.
Yeah.
Well, and all jokes aside, the paychecks helps prove, right?
No,
it helps prove that she was learning. It was her building her own business. She was gaining skills that she felt she needed to build a successful business and this new venture, this new path, this new journey, and have that added support to be able to lean on and ask questions, which I know she took full advantage of. I know that she was asking questions and hopping in webinars and is in the group and is just very active in the community with learning and continuing to learn. And I think that's been huge as well.
For sure. It's just such a supporting community. At first I never know how this works. But yeah, like since I'm like 9 months in now, I can definitely feel it. I see what people are talking about. And when you're in this kind of industry, like also I keep hearing people saying it's all about helping others. And I was like, okay, sure, whatever. But then like when you're really like at this point, I'm like, yeah, once you have that transition, the mindset switch, that's when when you're gonna see the difference.
Yeah. Mindset's huge. It always comes back to that. And that's what's so uncomfortable for people. And I think that's the biggest roadblock is you have to overcome your mindset blocks.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a magic. You don't ever get paid or get checks in your bank account for just, sitting there doing nothing. I mean, she's clearly put in the work.
Right.
And do it.
Exactly. There is not a, magic tree with money falling just because you decided to, start a TikTok channel. You have to put in the work, learn the strategy, and keep going, be consistent with it.
Yeah. And even though Tom is not in this business, but he observed everything throughout my journey. It's funny because when I got my second invitation, with I think Roxy emailed me or something, and we were walking on the creek by the side, and then I was telling, I can invite again. Like I really want to do this, but I'm not like it's just I don't feel comfortable when it comes to like interview kind of setting. Mm-hmm. It's like I want to come on with you, like so he kind of invited himself.
I love it.
I didn't invite you, but he's like full on support. He's like, no, I want to be there with you. I'm like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah. So I'm really glad.
She's got my support, so I thought, why not hop on and kind of tag in and give some thoughts from my perspective.
And I love it. I so appreciate it. And I want our audience to really know, if they listened carefully, and if you know anything about Steffi. She said she was nervous about coming on an interview, but you go live, every day?
Yeah, that's so
weird. Go live every day, and you're teaching and you're sharing. And I've been on your lives, whether you realize it or not. They're amazing. I love your lives. You are informative. You care. You provide great value, and you are serving. Just like you said, when you learn, like, what can I give them? That's what you do. And your lives are amazing. So it's just funny how we can be nervous in these little pockets still, but it's just signs of, ways we're still growing, and you're allowing yourself to grow. And that's so cool.
That's true. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Make sure you drop me like a hi emoji.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I wondered that sometimes. Is Matt on my live? Is Joy on my live? It's like, I know you came across it. Okay. That's cool.
As William says, Joanne's a stalker. A little bit. I'm on a lot of different lives for sure.
Yeah.
Whether people realize it or not. But yeah, I enjoy them, and I enjoy yours very much so. Okay, so let's talk about lives a little bit, because I know that's a big roadblock for a lot of people. Pushing that live button. What do you say? And I know recently, not to touch on a difficult topic, we've had a little bit of a bullying situation happening online a little bit, but you're a strong, amazing business owner that's handling it. And, but when you first started going live, how did you get through it? How did you get started? How did you overcome fear? That first initial time?
Yeah. So watching other people's lives, that's like initially got me started. Like taking notes. I'm not saying like actually sometimes I do write on notes, like the bullet points of what these people talk. I'm still learning. I still tune into Phil's lives, Amy's lives. But initially when I started out, I would just watch it. I would screen record it. I would just like screen record it so I can go back and rewatch it and take notes. And a lot of times I feel like people are just saying the same thing in different ways. And when my recommendation is that when you go live, have a structure in your mind, like introduction, what you do, what you used to do, what like the values that this has provided to you, and then like closing call to action. Like these are generally like my strategy. And besides that, also have like a list of questions that normally people would ask. And like you can have like 5 to 8 questions ready to tackle. And when you're starting out, like it's not gonna perfect. Okay. Just do it. And you can do it ugly, but no one's gonna remember, oh, like she said something weird, like, so just keep doing it, and then that's when you improve.
Oh, I love that. Do it ugly, guys. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. There is no perfect way to go live. There is no perfect presentation. And
yeah, there's a saying, you're not going to be perfect. You're not going to be perfect to, you can't be perfect to start, but you have to start to be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. And Tanya, I know you shared in the comments that you did your first live and it was an utter failure. It wasn't an utter failure. Keep going. Do it again. I promise you learned something from it. Just keep going for sure. Yeah. Did you have a lot of people on your first initial lives, or was it a really small, intimate group?
It was a small group, like 2 people, 7. And it just grew from there. Also, right before you go live, post a content. So then when people are scrolling through like the For You page, and if they come across your content, it will show your profile that you're going live, because there's like the beaming red circle around your picture. So they'll be like, oh, okay, this is an interesting content. I'm going to see, oh, she's going live now, or he's going live now. I want to see what this is about. So that could help too.
Wow. Tidbit alert. We have a golden nugget, guys. A little tip. Definitely use that.
Yeah. And I'm still, it's so weird because I can go live like when there's like 200 people on like listening, but then I would want Tom to like be in another room, or like put on your headphones. I don't know. It was just like something about it. I'm just like, I don't want it when people's around. But once in a while, I'm like, okay, fine. Like, I don't know.
Isn't that funny? So Emily Walcott shared the same thing when she started. She would go hide like in a closet, in a laundry room to start, so that the people in her house couldn't see her. But she's going live to put it out to like hundreds and, or creating videos that were going to be seen by thousands. But she didn't want the 4 people in her house to see it.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I mean, when she's on live, seems incredibly confident, very articulate. She's able to, she's very knowledgeable. I mean, I brag to my friends about it. I mean, it's pretty neat. So it's kind of funny that sometimes, she gives me a heads up like I'm going live, but usually, we have kind of, we get a bit silly in our relationship sometimes with teasing each other. So I might, go in there and do a little dance or something or whatever, just to kind of throw her off. And then I'm like, okay. Yeah.
That happens.
And then she'll give me a look, and I'm like, ooh, bad time.
I was like, and that's in San Francisco. Right? We were like in his room. I was in his room. I was going live, and he came in, opened the door. He said something funny. I'm not gonna say it, but like he said something like, "Yo, whatever." And then everyone on the live, they were like, what did he just call you? And it's because we joke around a lot, like nothing serious, but yeah. And then, but that actually helped. It boosts a lot of audience, like right at that moment, because they thought it was funny, it was real, and it's just real life.
Right. You need to hop on in the background and dance.
Yeah, maybe there's a strategy
on camera and really make a scene.
Yeah.
But you have, Steffi, you have props, if I remember correctly. Like you'll share your screen and different things instead of just talking. Have you found that helpful?
Oh, 100%. I think a lot of times, like, so I do like show like a graph, like the business model of what affiliate marketing is, because sometimes me talking might not give like a clear concept, but showing a graph and showing the importance of sales funnel, that diagram was also kind of neat. I think having props helps. You don't really need to have like a tangible, like a whatever you're holding, but just showing screen that helps. Yeah.
Sweet. I love it. Okay. So we didn't get into this at the beginning, but I think it's important for everyone to really know where you came from. Share with our audience. We have a lot of new people to Legendary that are on right now. your tech life before. What was that like? What was that daily grind like? And all of that. And then why you were looking for Legendary to begin with.
No problem. So I used to work for a tech company. Great culture, great people. I really like it. I still have a lot of respect to that company. But things just didn't work out to a point. I'm not really going to get into that because that was also one of the reasons why I got got into cyberbully. But anyways, but some of you probably know my situation. So I just ended up having to stop working completely, not just with my company, but I can't work at all. I couldn't work at all at that time. So it just got me into a really bad situation in terms of I was making like zero income. I was living in one of the most expensive city in the United States. And I got into some sort of like depression. Maybe that might be a really strong word, but I was just really, really low in my life. But it's funny because when I stopped working for my company, that was like October 7th of 2021. But I was actually very glad. I was like celebrating because my work hours was a whack. Like sometimes I have meetings. Oh, you've seen it.
They were wild.
Yeah, I have meetings at like 7 a.m. and then the last one could end at 11 p.m. And I'm still working in between as well. It doesn't happen all the time, but like
it was pretty frequent.
It is frequent, especially like the tech life. Like sometimes you have release, and I work really close with like people from India and UK, China. So that was that. When I have to stop working, I'm just like celebrating inside. I was like, and it was also close to the holiday season. So I was like, busy making all this snacks and like I'm huge when it comes to gift giving. So I was just like, I love baking. So I was just like putting together like all these small gift bags with like my snacks in there. Anyways, and later on after Christmas, after New Year, that's when the reality hits. I'm like, shit, like I don't have a job. Like everyone's going back to work and I just felt like a loser. I felt, cause like it was always my dream, like to be in Silicon Valley, work for like a tech job. I'm going to work my way up to like a big corp, maybe like for Google, Salesforce, like that's my dream. But it wasn't the path for me. So I just got into a really dark mode and I was like cutting off everyone. I was cutting off my friends. I was cutting off Tom. He was like, I think like there was like a full like weeks that he was like trying to call me and I didn't pick up. I was like, no, like I don't.
Wow.
Yeah, it was bad. And then he ended up like doing like a video record of himself. He's like, hey, like pick up the phone, like let's talk. So like I felt better after, but then that's around the time I started looking into like UX design. Like I was taking courses for UX design because I was like, maybe I'm just gonna start growing my skills now, and then look for another job in the different role. And that's also around the same time I came across a legendary marketer. So I was doing both at the same time, and I was like trying to do my UX course in the beginning. I was like putting 2-3 hours. And then I put the rest of the day for LM. And then I was like, but like for something, I was just like, damn, I need to put more time into LM. So, because there's so much to learn and I just felt so right about it. So I completely tossed UX design to a side after getting into it like pretty deep actually. So I just go on focus on LM and that's when things took off. And yeah, it's the best decision ever.
Wow. And man, what a supportive partner you have. That's pretty awesome. What an amazing story. And I'm so glad you found us and were able to make that shift and really find something that re-excited you about life.
Yeah. Huge thank you for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Re-excited about life. That's the right way to put it.
Yeah. Wow. I love it. Okay. Now we're in a new year. Things are going really well in your business. What are your next goals moving forward for both of you, personally and with your business?
Yeah. So personally, I think we want to travel. I really miss my family, and I'm from Malaysia. They're all back in Malaysia, and with this business, I can like definitely work wherever I want. So we're planning on trips to go back to visit Malaysia. Meanwhile, also like visit other countries as well. That's our plan. So anything to add?
Yeah, I mean we're really looking forward to this year. So it's I'm also very fortunate where I can work from home as well.
Okay.
I'm at one of the Silicon Valley tech companies, but I just happen to be in a role where I could do that, which I'm very fortunate.
Right.
So we're thinking of just heading off for a couple months, going to Malaysia, and being able to have that freedom to travel and be productive and not get behind, and still maintain our personal and career goals. We feel pretty lucky, so it's going to be a really exciting year.
Okay, so we need to have both of you on while you're in Malaysia.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Okay. Yeah, we need to go live from Malaysia.
Yeah.
Have both of you back on.
And maybe you can meet my brother, because so this business, I have actually introduced it to my brothers as well. So my family owns a business. It's a 4-generation business. And so it was my great grandfather, my grandfather, and my dad, and then now my brothers are taking over. So during COVID, it kind of went down. So we closed part of the business, but the main part is still thriving and running. So I have weekly meetings with my younger brother, because he's all about like marketing and stuff. I was like, dude, you need to get on this. So because I have like the account with ClickFunnels and whatever, all this, I'm like, I'm going to build this for you. You're going to provide me the marketing materials, and we're going to make every week to make this happen. And you have to like build your social media accounts, which they already have. They just need to be more consistent about it. I was like, yeah. So I'm like the one who's providing the blueprint, the infrastructure, and then he's giving me the marketing material. So we're very hopeful about this.
I love this. Okay, because the skills you learn here are to market any business.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's every single business that exists is online in some form, or they need to be more online. And every skill sorry, the phone's ringing here. Every skill you learn here, you can use, whether it's building your own business or, oh my goodness gracious, I'm gonna need it.
Was that Walmart?
My parents are 86 and they have the phone announcing who's calling.
My parents do as well.
Real life people, we're real life. But how you can take the skills that you've learned and apply them to your family business, teach your siblings who are then going to also use it in the family business. That's what it's all about. And I love that. That just excites me so much, because you're using the skills not just to build your own through affiliate marketing, but they're transferable in any way, shape, or form for any business.
Yeah, for sure. It's marketing, and I'm so glad that this has brought so much for me, and I'm just kind of like showing it to my brothers, and they're so willing to like take it as well, and like accept it and then apply it to their business. So it's pretty cool.
Wow. I love it. Love it. Love it. For those joining late, just for me to explain, I am on location. That's the beauty of working online. I'm at my parents' house in Los Angeles. My mom had a little medical emergency earlier this week, so I'm here with them. That's why we got snowman background and the phone that announces who's calling while I'm live. So I apologize. But that's the beauty of being online and being wherever you are at, and we keep these interviews pretty authentic to real life.
Sure. Yeah, because His mom also got into like a situation during Christmas, and we were really glad that we were able to like just be there for her, stay at his parents' place, and visit her at the hospital every day. So
Yeah.
It's definitely wonderful in terms of like you're living life on your own terms, and you have that freedom to be in different location and just be there for people when they needed you.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so for those starting out, because I can see that we got people brand new to the challenge right now, and they're already questioning, is this going to work for me? How long till I see something? We're focused on the end result right now, guys, and you need to move into, what do I need to do? What action do I need to take? What's your best pieces of advice for those that are right in the beginning of the challenge and really wondering if this is for them?
So I recommend, I think having a goal is important, but I think like being in the mindset of learning, that's what I always tell people. Like I want them to understand this is not something that you can get rich quick. Maybe on the internet you see people like showing results, but they don't show you like their journey and how they started and how they got to where they are today. So having a goal, it's great, but you got to learn how to grow first. Like, so I want people to change like from a goal mindset to a growth mindset, because that takes you further and you're just so into like the learning and providing values, and like even you can surpass your goal that way. And the other thing I recommend is to like start believing yourself. There's a difference between hoping versus believing. Hoping, it's like you can just hope that tomorrow's going to be a clear sky. You can hope that you will make money, a lot of money by the age of 35, but you don't take action. You can hope for anything, but you don't take action. But when you believe in yourself, you believe it so much that you know it's going to happen for sure. It might not happen like right at the moment, but at least the energy that you put into your action, it's what's going to make the result. It's going to get you the result you want. So I just want people to know that, like having a growth mindset is important, and like start believing in yourself. And the other thing is to be relatable. Like when you talk to your audience, when you create content, actually have an avatar in your head. Like who's your avatar? Who are the people that you're talking to? That helps a lot too. So that's something that I realized, like once I have those switches, it's where I start seeing the difference.
Yeah, just to add on to that from an outside perspective,
Definitely.
I mean, it's the effort and conviction and tenacity to continue on with this. I mean, Steffi has shown those qualities and being able to find some success. And like she said, it's not, a get rich quick thing, but I mean, it has clearly more than pay off, and is, I mean, in my eyes, seen as a very, a very good, career path. And she, so I think, as people, when we set, even if we set goals for ourselves, they don't always maybe they don't always occur or maybe happen in the way that we would have hoped. Sometimes that can get us down, and that can maybe detract us from the progress that we're making. But with what I saw with Steffi is she understood that it's gonna take some some trips and some roadblocks or some things to kind of learn, navigate around, and then really find her comfort zone and her strengths to be able to make herself such a success as she is, with how this is going. So I would say, just like anything, don't expect to start off day one and then get the moon. It takes a really long time or it just takes time, effort, and tenacity to be able to make that journey and look back and be like, wow. I mean, before you know it, it's more so after you've already achieved, a certain amount of success, is once you start to realize and look back and then, be like, I can do this, and I'm clearly doing this. And I think Steffi really made that work.
Yeah. And that you're worthy of it.
Yeah.
You're worthy of success. You're worthy of putting in the work. You're worthy of having your own business. You're worthy of making your own schedule. And I think deep down, some people feel like they're not worthy of it. So they don't go the extra mile that they actually need to.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Don't get too hard on yourself. Everybody gets trips. So
yeah. And some people would, I also get a lot of people saying, hey, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I feel like I can't do this. Like, I think that's the right feeling to feel in terms of like, because you're getting out of your comfort zone. Like you're feeling nervous, you might be stressing out. And that's, I want to remind you, like, that's the right feeling to feel because you're learning something, you're getting out of your comfort zone. So embrace that feeling, but when you start thinking that I can't do this, like that's going to just ruin everything. So no doubt, because doubt kills dream. Just believe in yourself and embrace the stressfulness, embrace that anxiety. And I have this analogy. I talk about this analogy when I'm going live. I said, just like driving a car, right? When you learn how to drive a car, you are anxious, you are nervous about it. You don't want people to talk to you. You're very stressful. But like now you drive a car like autopilot. It takes you to get groceries. It takes you to places. You can go on road trips with it. Like it basically takes you from point A to point B, and that's the reward. That's the result you want. So just just embrace the feeling and just learn it throughout the journey, and then you get the result you want.
Yeah, that is a great analogy. I love that analogy. Definitely. Well, I've loved watching you just transform. I always thought you were great. I remember Matt even like sending me a screenshot. She's genius early on. And I'm like, oh, I love it. Who is this girl? And you've just been growing even more since then. Because you make it your own. You show up authentically. You've identified who your ideal customer is, and that's who you talk to. And it doesn't have to be the same one as someone else that's in this business. Mm-hmm. You make it your own, and that's what's key.
Yep, 100%. Yes.
Yeah. I love it. And Tom, what can you share with all of the partners that might be on or questioning or wondering, or maybe not supporting their spouse or loved one through this at the moment? What would you share with that person that was like really questioning this?
Yeah, sure. So I understand your initial thoughts or maybe doubts. I mean, again, it's not it's not perhaps maybe the traditional way of going in for an interview and the step-by-step process to get but be employed by whatever. It's non-traditional, but that doesn't mean that just because you don't know about something doesn't mean you should put it to a doubt and have yourself throw it out the window for someone else, especially your partner. I also think in relationships, I mean, you're in a relationship with someone because obviously not only do you love them and care for them, but I mean you should trust them and trust their judgment and that they're a person of their own making and that they can make these smart decisions themselves.
Right.
Yeah, everybody, myself, like what I appreciate about our relationship too is that we're able to speak to each other about things that we feel like constructive things that we feel like we could each be doing better. And I mean, coming at it from that type of nature and more of like a okay, well let's I would like to learn more about this just so I can better understand, to be supportive, a supportive partner, I think is a good tactic. But again, the fact that I mean she's my partner, and I just sat and thought about it. I'm like, why am I getting worked up? She's she's smart. I trust her. I mean, she can. This is her life. I mean, why would you handcuff a person that you care about? And so it wasn't one. I think lack of knowledge tends to create some false fears,
right.
And also just being and with that having proactive, or being proactive and gaining some knowledge to maybe, quell some of those fears, but also have a deeper understanding and maybe, a productive conversation with your partner, I think is necessary. So for me, yes, like initially it was like, oh boy, what are we getting into here? And then after learning about it, I mean, and then also again, like Steffi's smart. She and so is, I mean, those everybody else out in those relationships. I mean, you're with your partner for a reason, and so don't look at your partner as someone that you don't know and that you judge to make a bad decision in their life. So I don't know, that's kind of what I would say.
Yeah, and yeah, that's pretty well said. I think I'm just recalling like back when I first telling him what I'm doing and stuff. I'm already know it's not gonna be it's not gonna go well the way I wanted to. Because even when I started, I was like, I'm not sure. I don't believe this, but like something more deeper said that this is gonna work. This I've seen real people showing real results. I'm like, what's the difference? Like I'm just like them, and I can do it. So even when I didn't get the support initially, the initial support that I was hoping for from him, it was huge because his opinion matters so much for me.
Yeah.
My oldest brother also like said no to me because he was in Amway before. He did it for a while. So when
he compared it to an MLM when this is not that, but it's easy for outsiders because that is what they know. You always tend to identify to what you know.
Yeah,
that's right.
So even after my first interview with Ellen and our first call and our first show, I sent it to my family. I'm like finally telling them what I've been doing and this is my result. And then my oldest brother was like, start calling me and say, hey, like, don't. And I just got it so frustrated and so fussed about it. I'm just like, you don't understand. But like, and that's the thing. That's like the belief that I want you to have, like innate inside you. Because when you believe in yourself, that's when you're able to see the result you want. And other people's opinion, it doesn't matter. I know they're your loved ones. They're someone who's very close to you. But when you start believing in yourself so deep, that's when you're going to start getting the result you want.
Yeah. Wow. So well said. I can't tell you how much I appreciate both of you coming on today. Steffi, I know you have some people, there's some fake accounts of yours out there. They're not yours. People have created them wanting to be you because you're so cool. So this is your Instagram, correct? That's on the screen. Okay.
Yeah.
So we can follow
this is my only Instagram. I don't have other ones. If anyone DM you with my face on it, our face on it is actually my account. My profile picture is both of us. Yeah, that's not me. So this is my only Instagram account.
All right. So this is her one and only Instagram. So be sure to go to boss.bae, BAE.steph, STEPH. And then let me just pull up your TikTok. We have Making Sense with Steph. Is that correct?
Yes. That's my third, TikTok account. I'm trying to grow that. So if you can follow me, that'd be great.
Perfect. She has a few on there, but you know how TikTok goes, guys. It's a little finicky with allowing accounts or deactivating accounts. So this is the one she is currently growing on TikTok, Making Sense, spelled CENTS, with Steph. Thank you so much, both of you, for coming on. And seriously, when you book the trip to Malaysia, please reach out and we will get your next interview booked for Wake Up Legendary as well.
Yes.
Will do. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on, Tom. It's really appreciated, both of you being on today. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Happy Friday. I hope you all have a great weekend. Be sure to catch all the replays. Keep diving into your education, into your business, and I will see you next week. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.